I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, September the 18th, brought to you in part by VITALIX by Bimeda. VITALIX is an oral nutritional supplement. Don't have to keep poking holes in them, guys. It includes trace minerals and vitamins to aid in providing nutrients needed to support a healthy immunity and maintain health. For more information, go to bimedaus.com. Feeder cattle sales were lighter in August, and I think if we think back, we remember that, but why are we mentioning that? It's because we're looking at the cattle on feed report estimates that come out here early to mid this week here, and they've got the placements figured a little bit lighter than the same report a year ago because for the most part everybody was seeing lighter sales of feeder cattle, which makes me wonder a little bit, why were the sales lighter in August than what we'd typically seen? Well, the market was fading in a big way, and you remember that. We saw big runs when the market was good. Then when we got like into August there, we started seeing the market backing up quite a bit, and people just held on to their cattle, so we didn't see them. But those cattle weren't going into the feedlot, so I guess there would be lighter placements. They have noted that video sales were also down quite a bit, but that's kind of a slippery slope when you start looking at video sales. Only the current deliveries count, and not a very high percentage of the video sales are current delivery. So, you know, you can't really count that. But there was a lot of grass cattle that were still shipping in August. There wasn't a lot going through the sales, but there were still plenty of grass cattle that were shipping, even off some of the major grazing areas that mostly make you get off in July. There were still cattle moving off of those in August. And so I'm not sure what to think of that placement figure. I'm thinking that maybe they have it a little bit light. Maybe it's going to be a little bit closer to 100%, but they've only got it at 98.5% on the average of the analyst guess. So if it is 100% or the same as a year ago, that's not going to be terribly bearish, but it is going to be a little bit. But your on feed cattle on feed inventories for September the 1st, they've got those pegged at 100.7. So still a lot of cattle in the feedlot, we know that. And like I said, your placements in August, they've got those pegged at 98.5, but a wide range in your analyst guesses there from 93.5 to 102.3, which is pretty wide there, guys. But marketings for August, they usually always get those, and they've got those figured in at 96.5. So be interesting to see what happens on Friday when that cattle on feed report comes out. And then, of course, everybody has to kind of hold their butt cheeks together until Monday to see what the board's going to do. And I really don't think it should be that way. I don't know why they don't release the data as it comes about instead of having a drum roll and then pulling the curtain back, you know, every third Friday every month, and it's just a burden to the industry. And now they've got it where you can't do LRPs on cattle on feed Friday. It's just it's a nuisance. It's more than anything. And if the government wants to save some money, USDA wants to save some money, stop doing the cattle on feed reports. That would be a blessing if they would stop doing that. Don't forget about the Ranchers for Trump rally. I've got two big rallies to go to here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. One of them is going to be the Ranchers for Trump rally in Fallon, Nevada. The other one's going to be the rally to support Harriet Hageman's resolution to stop mandatory EID. That's going to be in Rapid City, South Dakota on October 7th. But the Ranchers for Trump roping and rally is going to be on September the 28th in Fallon, Nevada. You guys should get involved in this, even if you're not close to there. That's a pretty rural part of the globe and not a lot of people there, but that is a battleground state, and that is important to everybody. If Trump does not win this election, I'm not sure what else matters going off in past November, guys. And you guys, you know what I mean about that. We are screwed if Trump does not win this. I tell you what, we're going to be taxed to no end. The Green New Deal is going to take over. Cattle are going to be weaponized. You know, if you've got any long-term investments, inheritance tax, things like that, that is going to come down on us hard. It is going to destroy agriculture. And I don't mean that lightly at all, guys. I'm serious about this stuff. But we've got to help Trump win Nevada. We've got to embolden that Trump 47 campaign fund there so that he can spend more money to hopefully get more votes to hold his own there and hopefully win this election, guys. But we're going to be having a big rally there in Fallon, Nevada on September the 28th. They're going to have muley roping, they're going to have breakaway roping, they're going to have a branding event there. We're going to have the rally. We're going to be selling donated items that are non-cattle there right after the rally. Included in that, they've got some really cool items there. One of them is going to be gathering cattle by helicopter in 8-hour days, sitting in that helicopter. That would be cool. They've got some excursions there. I think some weekend getaways, maybe some hunting trips. Got a lot of cool stuff there that's donated that are non-cattle, and then there's going to be several cattle that are donated that we're going to sell at the Trump cattle auction following that, and all that money will be going into the campaign fund for the Trump 47 campaign. But we are going to do that a little bit different this time. If somebody is bringing a string of cattle in or a herd of calves or whatever for the Friday auction on September the 27th, if they want to donate one of those calves, instead of sorting that calf off and selling it in the Trump cattle sale, we're going to average that calf off and put that in there because it's going to be more money going into the Trump campaign there. And so that's one thing that we learned doing that same type of a rally 4 years ago. But that's going to be a fun time. You guys should plan on being in Fallon, Nevada on September the 28th because it's going to be a good time, guys. But talk about your board on Tuesday. October live cattle futures were up, and all your cattle futures were up pretty big. I mean, pretty impressive, guys. October was up 157 on live cattle at 178.80. December was up $1.50 at 179.85. Your back months were all up from 50 cents to $1.52. September feeder cattle was up $2 at 243.30. October up $1.75 at 240.75. And your back months were all up big. If you guys are looking at strike price on LRP, back months were all up big from $1.22 higher to $2.72 higher. December corn was up 1 3/4 cents a bushel at 412.5. November beans up 1.5 cents a bushel at 10.06. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for December down 1/2 cent a bushel at 5.80. Fat cattle trade, haven't seen hardly anything break loose yet. We did see a little bit there on Monday, which was kind of steady with the highs of last week, but we saw just a smidge of trade in Iowa on Tuesday, and it was disappointing. So must have been some cattle that were off grade or something like that, but only about 100. Been 1,150 altogether with those cattle that sold steady with the top of the last week that sold on Monday. But on Tuesday we sold just 100 head of cattle, a couple loads from 177 to 180. Probably shouldn't even mention those, but did not see any negotiated direct trade out of your 5 area region from Nebraska, Kansas, or Texas. But we did have our market finder transparent livestock auction there. Stockman's Livestock Market in Yankton, South Dakota. Greg Reichen does such a good job there at Stockman's Livestock. Has a best fat cattle auction in the nation. Had 1,250 head in overnight. About 2,000 head of fat cattle for the Tuesday sale. Conventional fat cattle, just the straight up fat steers and heifers, bring from 178 to 180, 250. The trend on that was kind of uneven, from $1 lower to as much as $3 higher. Program fat cattle in Yankton, South Dakota, either non-implanted or drug-free, sell from 181 to 188 and a quarter. That's from 2 and 6 bits to $5.50 higher. That's impressive there. The packers, smaller packers, are coming in wanting some of those program cattle, some of those best quality cattle. They did have several cattle that were going back to feed. We call them two-way cattle. They could have went to slaughter, but the ones that are going back to feed, non-implanted, and whether they want to keep them that way or give them an implant, probably be a little bit of both there. But those non-implanted two-way cattle sell from 185 to 211. That 211 was on a pretty big group of 1,158-pound steers, black steers there, and they will be going back to feed. Pretty optimistic, guys. How about box beef cutout values? They were kind of mixed, but mostly lower. Choice was down 66 cents on Tuesday afternoon at 303.91. Your selects up 8 cents at 292.22. Your slaughter, they've been pretty aggressive this week so far. Of course, it's early in the week, but 246,000 through the first 2 days of the week. That's 8,000 more than the same point a week ago, just 1,000 less than the same point a year ago. Charlay Cattle, guys. Charlay is important because pounds matter and pay weight counts. Select a Charlay bull to make a difference in your bottom line with wide industry acceptance, guys, especially when you're crossbreeding with the Charlay. They sell right along, guys. For more information, go to charlayusa.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DVAuction, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states. Late on Tuesday, sitting at 241.84. That was down 8 cents, but pretty close to unchanged, guys. Latest CME cash feeder cattle index sitting at 243.44. Talk about your big sales on Tuesday. Ozark Regional Stockyard in West Plains, Missouri, sold 2,000 head through the ring. Another 1,144 that they do with their in-house video auction that they have every week. It's just amazing how they add to their receipts, and very seamless there through that video auction that they get help with DVAuction there on, and get a lot of activity on that. Feeders in West Plains, Missouri, sold $3 to $5 higher. Calves were kind of uneven, and they're going to be uneven when you got fat balling calves and it's still hot outside, but they sold from $3 lower to $3 higher. Did have some moisture over the last week or so in south central Missouri there, and some places getting some significant moisture of as much as 5 inches there. Talk about some individual quotes from all around. A lot of good sales happened on Tuesday. Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma, sold 79 steers that weighed 707, bring 269. Messina, Iowa, Messina Livestock there. We are going to be adding them for first-time broadcasters. They've never broadcasted before. Here pretty quick, guys. We're looking forward to adding Messina, Iowa. They do a real good job. That is a family operation. Not a lot of overhead. Everybody works their butt off. Don't have a lot of extra help, but they've got really good cattle and they sell really well. They sell 93 steers at Messina, Iowa. They weighed 623 on Tuesday and bring 302.75. Wow. How about Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota? Big sale there. 68 steers, weighed 813 pounds and bring 259. Wow. How about Lolly Brothers Livestock, Macon, Missouri, longtime DVAuction customer there. They sell 83 heifers, weighed 638 and bring 270. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day. It's calf time. How about a top quote of calves, guys? Miles City Livestock Commission in Miles City, Montana, sells 104 steers, weighed 499 or 500 pounds and bring 334.75. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.